Welcome to What If Civilization Started Over. This is episode 5, and last episode a new team popped up, the brown team. And it was all because of two men, one man from the red team and one man from the blue team down under. And they wanted more land up north because they heard it was great there. And after a sort of small war against the red team and the orange team, they decided let's just give those two men, actually now whole group, whole country, their land, and hopefully nothing will ever happen again, for now. Let's see this episode what will happen with Cyan. Because while this war was happening, something was not really going great for the Cyan King. We still had some expanding that the Cyan team did here in Ukraine and also in the other countries that were here, Romania, right? They also just filled in more land of Turkey, but the people up here in the north were actually not really happy by just trading with the Cyan King all the time. They wanted to just venture off and just leave this world behind and go, well, up north because they heard it was a great place, but the Cyan team was did misunderstand it a little bit. These three countries here down below, the red team, the green team and the blue team, they all knew that up north, quote unquote, was great, but what the people actually meant was just here. That's why the brown team popped up. But the Cyan team thought with up north, not about an island that was discovered all those years ago. No, they thought really up north. They thought that it was great there, but no one was living there yet. They didn't know, but a few people, a group, wanted to venture off and leave this world behind. And I say a group, but actually 5 leaders. A leader here, a leader here, a leader there, there, and there. Those 5 wanted to just abandon the Cyan team and go up north. So what they did, hey Cyan team, screw you, let's go up north. So they did. Not under the name of Cyan. No. But under the name as dark green, or let's just call this green and this is lime. All those 5 settlements just didn't want to be a part anymore of our Cyan King. He let it happen because he also knew, the Cyan King, that what if you don't agree as a king and just get your land back? Well, then you get... So he left it for now. We had the green team, the actual green team. They wanted to go up north, so they did. Would you say what's now the capital city of this place? Let's also arrange that. It's going to be this one. Like everything what I'm doing, it doesn't have to be that realistic. It's just for fun. So sometimes ignore that I'm going fast and sometimes ignore that I'm going too slow. It's just to have some fun. But anyways, let's see what's up north. So a small amount of people were going up north. They were really excited of what to find there. They thought of many people. They ventured and ventured, but came across nothing. They eventually just started up here and made a little settlement for themselves, because they were traveling for almost 1 year now already. So in the meantime, things happened in the real world. The blue team eventually discovered that they could connect each other here as well, so they had much more land to work with. The blue team was secretly doing greatly, like awesomely. Awesomely, is that a word? And the red team didn't really do anything. The green team for once actually started to grow some more in the south. The green king allowed that people were going to the south to just start off something new, to see what's down below. The few settlements were popping up. They even continued the one they left all those years ago, when their new capital city was here at the border of red. Purple team started to sort of go around the Cyan team that was living here and going alongside the orange team and claimed a load of land here in the middle of Europe. The orange team was not really happy because now he is getting blocked off by 2 countries almost fully. So they started to adventure more towards the east. They claimed a good portion of land. Like we are now, I don't know where we are in the time spectrum, but let's say people can really quickly find new land now because they have horses or whatever what they have. They also discovered much more land in Sweden. They even discovering new fjords, mountains, and they were going alongside the coast, but then they came across a settlement. They never expected to see a settlement. They stopped with like venturing. They took some land here. It was not claimed, but it was a settlement here. They talked with the people. Did not really understand them. It was not in a language they ever heard before from maybe the red team or the green team or even the blue team. So they were like confused. But back with the green team. They finally ventured some more. Now the green team was going to venture more towards the west because they know in a science point of view that there is like life in the east. Or in the west, I mean, not the east. So they were going to the east, venturing until they came across another ocean. They were like, oh, that's exciting. Let's follow the coast. They did find a few roads. They were like, oh, roads, so people are living here. And then they came across a settlement here. They were like, oh, so who are you? And they quickly did not understand them, talking a whole different language from all those others they knew. They knew how the red team spoke a little, how the green team spoke, even how the orange team spoke. It was like a great dialect from the red team, but they just couldn't understand it. It was not even like resembling one of their languages they know. They were so confused that they just turned around all the way back towards the Green King. They talked about it, and the Green King was also going to talk to the Cyan team, whatever, and asking, hey, do you know sort of about this language that we cannot understand? He was like, no. So he was going to ask the blue team, and also no. And the blue team started to ask to the green team and towards the magenta king. All of the people did not know where that settlement was. Like, what are you talking about? You found people of you, or like people that were from you but now they weren't anymore, found a place and you couldn't understand them? Slowly but surely, the purple team also discovered that the orange team found a place that they also couldn't understand. And he got back towards the cyan team, and the cyan team was like, oh, so you found the same place, right? And the green team was like, what? No, we didn't came across the orange team. So the orange team, so the people that came here towards these people, were asked to go to the green team. It was a long journey, and it took them actually more than a few months to eventually get here. Without knowing that they just can go like this, that was not like known, but eventually they got here. And they realized something. This is the same language as what we found in Norway. What is actually here? Well, and then someone walked upon them and just arrested them. And no one ever heard from them again. So the orange team was now worried. My people are not coming back anymore. Why? He told it to the purple team, and the purple team told it to the cyan team and then to the green team, and they were like, what the hell is happening? It was worrying. So something happened here in the castle of the purple king. So here in the purple king's castle, the purple king, the red king, the orange king, the lime king, the green king, the cyan king, and the blue team king damn, can I just say king one more time? We're on a meeting, and they all realized the stories that were told, we cannot understand anything of it. They are talking a different language, they are clothed differently, they are behaving even differently. They saw buildings they never found before in any style they ever used. It was not anything that was resembling the origins of the red team all years ago here, where it all started. So what it did was the following. They all left, and two kings, the cyan king and the green king, were going to travel there. But they both knew there are two places that we can go. Where the orange team went and where the green team went. But because where the green team last was seen and they didn't come back, they didn't really want to go there. So the three kings left behind their castles, but with great people they trusted, and went on a great trip towards this place. And eventually they found someone that could talk to them, that they could understand. They were baffled. They was like, oh, we can understand you. Wow, great. And that man talked a lot and made it very clear where they were actually are, with who they are actually dealing with. It was called the Gold Team. It was a whole different country. Let's call them the Gold Team. What the Orange Team and the Green Team discovered is that it was a whole different country, a whole different civilization, not in anything relatable towards where it all started in our story. They were not resembling the Red Team at all. already almost 500 years ago. It was a whole different country, a whole different world they found. So yeah, the green team was right. There were people up north here, but not what they expected. And eventually the man that told them everything got the knowledge that the people that went here, that were last seen here, were killed. And when they heard that, the three kings, they killed the man, they took his head, brought it home, and there was like, I think, a war now. So what the gold team now did was capturing the land that the orange team got from them. They got some land, but it was not really their land anymore by the green team. And they even knew. They knew already about this land because look how close they were. The orange team was actually pretty close towards finding this gold country. And let's see how many settlements they have. And it were actually a lot. There was a little man that discovered this orange land. And now that they knew that there were bad people in their eyes, they could go to war and end this. But what the gold team didn't knew, they thought that this was it. Like this, like this, and then they knew about something here, but they thought it was like ending right here. But no, there were like a dozen more few countries in the south. And eventually the gold team discovered the orange team and just went with an army, and their army was great. It was like what no one ever had seen before. See it like the Vikings. They were fighting like so differently than all the people that they come across before. Let's actually make this a little bit better to see, so you can see which side is which. And they were fighting. There were also people from the gold team going back south to see what's there. They found a little settlement and they burned it down. Nothing was left of it. So they went farther south because they saw tracks of people going from south to north to their country. And they were like, oh, it's getting really hot now. It's getting warmer. Where are all these people that were here? And then they discovered the first settlement here in the Greenland. In Greenland. And the people here were scared. Like, who are you? And this place was burned down as well. It was totally just gone in one night. And the green team already got home before gold team was able to get here. So they actually already knew they were coming, but not this fast. The green team got help from the cyan team to fight back, because there's a great war coming. Everyone didn't know who they are. They fought back, they got their settlement back, but it was like totally destroyed. No one was left alive. These people were brutal. They even got this far to just let the gold team fled. They were actually not unbeatable, but they were hard to beat. And they got their land back, luckily. And the gold team was not seen anymore in weeks. But they were seen here at the orange team. The orange team was again in a little war. And yeah, that's a bad thing. And the people were like so strong. They even got land that wasn't theirs before. And then they discovered another land, the magenta team. The magenta team knew about them coming because, well, if you know about a great threat, no one is really going to be silent about it. So they were also going to fight back, of course. They fought back, got a great land back from the orange team. Also the orange team got a bit of land back that they lost. Well, this was bad. Now also the brown team knew about this, and then they discovered that they weren't in any meeting, that they weren't informed of a greater power up north, and they were mad. They were so mad at the orange team, in fact, and they started to invade the orange team as well. They started to see it as a sort of small opportunity to get the land they already wanted. So now the orange team was falling. They lost a city because they were just too busy with this greater power, the gold team. And they just let it fly, let it be, and they lost their England. And without just hesitating, this brown king took the land from them. They also just got many people in their army and just killed everyone from the red team. And were like, now this is ours. Screw you. The red team was also busy with preparing for a great war against gold and didn't saw this coming at all from brown. They also took a land from red here in France, and they got even a settlement of magenta Magenta was also busy in the war and even realized it far too late. And that they just were thinking, we have to stop gold before we can deal with brown. But brown, after that, just stayed with what they had and were like, we're happy now, screw you everyone. The orange team got some land that wasn't really claimed yet, and they were fighting back. Luckily, after so long, the green team finally started to fight back as well, got back to their little settlement up north that was totally destroyed as well, and got far back, but no gold team was anywhere to be found, and they got in the gold team's territory again, but before they didn't realize it. And yes, last time they went this way, but they actually found a settlement here and they captured it because it was not really guarded by any military or guards or whatever you may call it, and they got a little bit of land out of it. They didn't really want that much because they had to be sure they could hold the gold team back, but they were going to fight back here as well eventually. But the green team actually was fairly good at holding them back. It was worrying here because orange team lost a battle, and because of that they lost a great amount of land, even the island there, and the orange team was lost. They now knew about brown. They were worried. They were losing more ground here as well, so they had to split. They couldn't handle it anymore. So that was when Cyan was going up north and going to fight alongside the magenta team. It was not a normal war anymore. They had to fight together. So they did. No one really heard about the red team yet, or the lime team, or the blue team. They were preparing before anything could happen on their side, but the gold team is of course very far away from them, especially for the blue team, the big blue team down below that was like growing rapidly already. But eventually the gold team was so strong that they couldn't hold them back, and there were many people, and eventually they discovered something. These people had indeed golden emblems on their armor. We're like, oh, okay. But then they found people wearing grey as well. Like, why were they wearing grey? Well, the man that told them everything didn't told them everything that there was to know. There was a so-called grey team. And let's see where their capitals are, because that's also really interesting. Because if you have a capital, you can defeat the country. The orange people were actually pretty lucky all those months ago now, maybe even a year now, because this was their capital, in fact. And their capital city of the grey team was here. And these were the two countries that started their civilization centuries ago now, too, alongside the red team that started here also centuries ago. And when green came here, they didn't really realize it at first, but they had a two-front war. Grey started to invade the army of green. And now green knew we have a great war upon us. Luckily the news spread because people could flee the place, because grey and gold were able to get their land back. And then eventually the news spread. We have another civilization up north. And let's see next time what will happen.